Coming to you live from our Hyde Park studios, this is Sunrise.
We come bearing fruit and gifts for you this morning. You're watching Sunrise live at on E. We have our master chef, Celine, who's cooking up, well, not necessarily cooking up a storm, but she's making healthy foods. And you can get some tips as well when packing your lunch, be it for hubby or for the children. She'll be with us throughout the show. And just cooking and mixing stuff.
Well, Celine Erasmus is a registered dietitian and she's the co-author of the book Fast Food for Sustained Energy. What's interesting though is Celine says it's okay to eat those hamburgers and those pizzas, but it's all about portion. So we'll be chatting to her about what you should and shouldn't be doing. It's great to have you with us on the show this morning. Thanks for choosing to wake up with Sunrise. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning. How are you, ladies?
Very well, thank you. I was going to say, just send your recipe ideas as well. Are you quite mean in the kitchen? With a butcher's knife?
I would say my fiance is much better than I am,
Yep.
but I
Yes.
always come through with a healthy appetite, as through this morning. It's always interesting because we tend to have breakfast after the show, so it's quite a refreshing change to see some food being arranged for us this
salivating
morning.
already.
Absolutely.
Hi, my name is Celine Erasmus. I'm a registered dietitian, and this morning we're chatting about how to eat on the run. Now, if you want to keep your energy levels up and lose weight and improve your health, starting your day with a balanced breakfast is really important. And a great breakfast idea are fresh smoothies, because we've often got fruits at home. You may even have a blender, it just needs to be on the counter. So I'm making a berry smoothie here. What I've got is some berries, banana, a bit of yogurt, we're going to add some milk, and then we're going to whip this all together. And there you go, you have a quick meal to have at home while you're getting ready, or perhaps you can pour it into a water bottle and take it with you on the way to the office for a great meal on the run, so that you can keep your energy levels up and really feel great for the rest of the day. Thanks, over to you in the studio.
She's such a natural. I mean, that's
She should be hosting her
unscripted
own
completely.
show.
And making her debut on Sunrise, she'll be making healthy foods throughout the show. And you can share your thoughts on some creative ideas you have
beautiful
around
book,
packing a healthy lunch, especially for the kids now that they're back at school.
So some good tips for you as well for the lunchbox.
It's so busy. You have to do it the night before, though, because it does consume a lot of your time. So if you can do it on the run, chop, and quickly, as we heard from Celine, it helps all the more.
So there we go, breakfast in under 2 minutes. A bright berry smoothie with some banana, yogurt and milk, and tea. Perhaps you'd like to try this and let me know what you think. I'm sure you haven't had breakfast. More food tips after the break. Thank you, Stacey. Another quick breakfast idea are some fruity cinnamon and apple oats. And you don't even need a microwave to make this. What you do is, for one person, you would take 5 tablespoons of oats. Oats are really high in soluble fiber, so very good for your heart. They also keep you fuller for longer. About a tablespoon of sunflower seeds or nuts like these almonds. Then you grate a whole apple, and then we mix that in. And then just to zing it up a bit, we're going to add a sprinkling of cinnamon. If you want to, 1 or 2 drops of vanilla essence. And then you can either use some boiling water or about half a glass of milk. The longer you leave these fruity oats to stand, the more the oats will soften. If you really don't have time in the morning, you can make these the night before, leave them in the fridge, and you'll have a Bircher type muesli in the morning. Let's take a break.
Now we have Celine Erasmus with us in studio. She's been here since the beginning, whipping up some fantastic meals from her book, Fast Food for Sustained Energy. You got a very interesting Facebook question. What was it?
Yes, we got a question about whether these meals, and smoothies in particular, are appropriate for diabetics.
Yes, that's a good one.
And they really are. As long as
it was by Desmond, I think.
Yes, thanks Desmond for that. If you are making a smoothie and you are diabetic, remember to keep to 2 fistfuls of fruit at the most. Go easy on the added yogurt, and don't add any extra honey and sugar and very little fruit juice. Rather use milk or water and lots of ice.
Fantastic. So keep those comments coming through. For now, though, we're going back to the studio with Cindy.
We live
Well, thanks again for joining us on Sunrise. Now, we know it's still January. All of us have set out those New Year's resolutions. One of those, I'm sure, will be to eat healthy. The problem, though, that the biggest hindrance is that we say we have a busy lifestyle. We often resort to fast food. But you need not fear, because Fast Food for Sustained Energy has been penned by Celine Erasmus as well as Gabby Steenkamp. And Celine joins us in studio today. She's been whipping up some fantastic meals for us. So good morning, and I can officially chat to you. You've calmed down a little bit. What are we making this morning?
Now what I wanted to do was make a filled pepino, because often we grab apples and bananas and then we don't enjoy fruit because we don't have variety. And this is a fruit that may be a bit difficult to eat on the run, but not if you do it like this.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is grab some low GI muesli. Low GI means it's slower releasing, so it's going to keep you fuller for longer. And then
that's glycemic index. So.
That's right. It helps to control your blood sugar levels. I'm impressed, Stacey. Then we're going to top that with some yogurt. Vanilla usually works well.
Yeah.
And then we're going to sprinkle a few pecan nuts on top. It's good to add in some healthy fats.
Okay. Yeah, that's a misconception that many people have, that there are good and bad fats as well.
Yes, and nuts and seeds are a source of good fats.
All right.
And there we go. If you don't have the time to sit and eat this, you could actually whip all of these ingredients up in a blender and make a smoothie.
Make a smoothie out of that. Or you could put it in your lunchbox and then get to the office and eat it then as well. Now, Celine, you and Gabby are both registered dietitians. What made you decide to co-author this book, Fast Food for Sustained Energy?
Well, we just found that so many of us are on the run.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are giving up our health for wealth. And unfortunately, we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, let's make a South African-based book that can help people that are on the run to still keep their energy levels up and not compromise their health, and also help them to lose weight.
Yeah, so all the recipes in here are made from ingredients that we can get in our stores, because that's a difficult thing.
Yes.
You buy a cookbook and you can't make the recipes because they have products, obviously, because the book is from America or England, and you can't get hold of the products.
And not only are the ingredients easy to find, but the meals are more about assembling meals. So there's not much cooking involved. So it's about, if you're getting home in the dark and it's after 7 and you want to quickly put together a light meal, those are the kind of recipes that we've put in. They're really quick and easy.
Now, you're not saying that we must avoid pizzas and hamburgers, because we know that's very difficult to do, especially going out with friends. You're saying it's all about portion sizes and then also reading labels correctly.
Absolutely, and that's why the biggest section in the book is called Portion Distortion. So it teaches you how to still eat fast food or deal with drive-thrus, but make smarter choices so that you don't compromise your health and your energy.
Okay, so let's go a bit into detail with regards to low GI. How do people know what's low GI as opposed to high GI?
Usually low GI products are labeled, but generally foods that are higher in fiber, more natural, like fruits and vegetables and whole grain foods, are better in terms of managing your blood sugar levels.
Okay, so should you always stay away from high GI foods, or is there a place for them?
There's a place for all foods. As dietitians, we really advocate that there's no good and bad foods, it's just good and bad diets.
Yes.
For instance, somebody who is very active, so if you're spending 1 or 2 hours at the gym, you would need high GI foods to replenish all that energy.
Now, you're saying that companies also have to take care of their staff and inform their staff as well. In fact, you can start on the next recipe. What are you going to be making there?
I'm going to make us some fruity cottage cheese. It's a nice protein-based breakfast.
I never used to like cottage cheese. I hope this can change that, in fact.
It can, and by adding little ingredients like dried fruit can really jazz up a meal.
Now, cottage cheese is high in protein as well. Are there any people that should avoid certain foods? Like, for example, if you're gluten or wheat intolerant, or does your book cover different types of allergies as well?
Our book is not focused on that. It's more for general people. But if you do have, for instance, a lactose intolerance, you can always replace the dairy options with an alternative.
Soya options. Okay. So this, you're going to add some dried fruit to the cottage cheese. Doesn't it clash with the taste, or does it complement the taste?
It actually tastes amazing. And if my husband says so, then trust me, it does.
And what do you think people should change this year for 2012? I mean, those bad eating habits, what should they do? I mean, your top 5 tips, for example.
I would say one of the top things to do would be to make sure that you eat light and eat often. A lot of us tend to go for hours without eating, and then what happens is we pay the price in the evenings when we don't eat all that energy. I'm just going to add some sultanas here, and a little bit of sunflower seeds or almonds, and then some chopped apricots. I would also say to drink enough water. A lot of people that I come across are dehydrated. Then they have headaches and they feel tired. And
apparently, if you feel thirsty, you're already about 20% dehydrated.
Exactly. So you should try and drink enough water throughout the day, and not just energy drinks, cold drink, fruit juice, or tea and coffee.
Okay. So when you're putting the cottage cheese in the bowl, what's the portion size that we're looking at?
It's about 6 tablespoons for a lady. The guys, if you feel like you need a little bit more, you can perhaps have 8 tablespoons. I'm just going to mix that together. Some sultanas or raisins, dried apricots,
Can I
Nuts
taste
or
that?
seeds? Absolutely. Then this you can top onto a slice of rye bread or
So
some
the
crackers.
proof is in the tasting. Oh wow.
The combination of the sweet and the tangy, savory cottage cheese works
It's actually
very well.
really good. And I'm eating with food in my mouth, something that we teach our kids not to do. Celine, before I let you go though, some people would say it's too expensive and it's too costly and I don't have the time to eat healthily. What did you say?
If you say you don't have the time, that's a bit like saying I'm driving my car and I don't have the time to stop for fuel. At some point you're going to pay the price, you're going to run on empty. In terms of the cost, yes, initially it may seem more expensive to buy things like fruits and vegetables,
Yeah.
but ultimately when you're eating healthier, you could actually save money because you eat smaller portions. So overall, the family can consume less.
Yeah.
And products like too much meat and takeaway foods are actually quite pricey.
Yes, they are. So it adds up at the end of the day and then you feel bad as well.
Yes.
So your top tip for 2012, I'm asking for all these top tips, your top tip for 2012.
My top tip for 2012, something I'm going to work on, is
Yeah.
to try and bring in some colour into most of my meals. So
That's
to
a good
always
one,
have
yeah.
a piece of fruit or some kind of vegetable to incorporate colour into my meal, because that's where you bring in vitamins and minerals
Yeah.
and much needed nutrients.
And that keeps you on track as well.
yes, keeps you
Celine-
healthy, your immune system strong.
Well, all the best for your book.
Thank you.
Fast Food for Sustained Energy. She also has an Afrikaans version, which is fantastic, and yet she speaks French. Her mom and her dad are French as well. So you've got the two versions. You've got English and Afrikaans as well.
Yes.
Same recipes.
Exactly the same.
All right.
Yes.
And where else can people catch you after sunrise? Do you do demonstrations, public demonstrations?
I do
or-
a lot of corporate work. I love to run workshops. I have a passion for reaching as many people as possible.
Yeah.
My website, I do a regular blog, and of course on Facebook, I like to keep people inspired and motivated there.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic news. She's whipped up some fantastic recipes. Can you find it on your website?
Yes, on my website, and of course in the book, which you can get off my website or
Yes.
at any bookstore.
Yes, any bookstore. It retails for around 180 Rand. Everybody should go out and get this book, particularly people with busy lifestyles as well, because it really does help you figure out the clutter and figure out a busy lifestyle as well. So Celine Erasmus, Fast Food for Sustained Energy, Low GI Eating as well. After the ad break, though, we'll be chatting to the girls from Love Glory. So do stay with us on Sunrise.